New York City, WOR. Nick, welcome to the program. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Michael. Boss Tweed's firm never died. Boss Tweed's firm, even up to the 80s, became Shea and Gould, who Shea was actually part of the Boss Tweed group.
Wait, hold on. You're saying Boss Tweed was a lawyer?
Oh, yeah, law firm, yes, the major law firm. Shut down now, built in Shea Stadium. That famous little name. What they
You're saying Boss Tweed was I didn't even know he was actually a lawyer?
No, the law firm. They had their own law firm later. Shea Gould's father was part not Gould. Shea's father was part of it.
Oh, so when you say Shea, you mean like Shea Stadium, S-H-E-A. I'm sorry, I couldn't get the pronunciation. I thought you were giving me the French pronunciation, C-H-E-S. Sorry.
No. So what they did, they just had their law firm there. In that same law firm, you had all the unions. The unions made their office there. For example, the restaurant union. What they do and what they did is control New York politics and the Democratic Party. As Boss Tweed would say, I don't care who gets in office as long as it's our candidate. So they would own both the Democrat and the Republican candidates. And
yeah, does that sound like today? Does it really matter for 90% of the Republicans whether they're Democrat or Republican?
Here's the way it works. It works I tried to get on your show once before. Well, I don't want to give my full name out, but I was a managing director of one of those major law brokerage firms. We owned every Democrat and every Republican. Each partner in those law firms, they lose their mind. I hope they don't recognize my voice, would have to give much of their percentage every month, every pay.
Oh, my God. A direct kickback had to be given to the firm?
No. I didn't say direct kickback. It goes into the PAC. And the PAC goes and you go to every meeting and you go to every...
Wow. Hey, look, Nick, could you call back at the top of the next hour? And just get a handkerchief and put it over the telephone. I got to hear more about this. See, I don't remember this guy. Wow, what a listener.
7.
We're talking about Nancy Pelosi in a House committee meeting continuing to push for health insurance reform. She says it is a moral, economic, and health imperative. Please play a bit of clip 8 so that people can catch up if they've come in late to the Savage Nation classroom. Let's hear the rest of that, please. Clip 8, when you are ready.
We also have a moral responsibility to pass health insurance reform, and we will do so this year. It is a moral imperative. It's a health issue. It is an economic issue. I believe that we can do so best by increasing competition. And by increasing competition, we will, again,
well, let's stop right there. Everything she says is a lie. First of all, they started with health reform. Then they went to health insurance reform. So the Boss Tweed gang now wants to take over the health insurance industry. Let's start with that theory. They claim that it will increase competition for the government to set up a government insurance program. Can you explain to me how a government-controlled business, which doesn't have the same, let's say, latitudes and longitudes of a privately controlled business, how that would increase competition? Let's go back a bit for those of you who don't understand it. Because on the surface, you could fall for this lie. You could say, well, wait a minute, what's wrong with cutting back on the profits of insurance companies? We all know that they're greedy and they're no good. And I've had my experience with insurance companies over the years. I have fought with HMOs, and I've had a fight with insurers to make payments. So I understand where you're coming from, and I understand that there's a lot of fat in that system. But let's say we have a health insurer called the United States government. How does that increase competition? I would say the opposite is true. They will destroy private insurers. It will become only a government-controlled insurance system along the lines of an FDIC, right? FDIC. So it's the same kind of deal they want to set up. And the only people who will benefit will be the people who write the bonds for these things, again, going back to the bankers and Wall Street. You have to understand, if it's not outright Boss Tweed corruption with, the insurance itself and scams along those lines, so it's whoever's going to be given the contracts to write the insurance will wind up getting the profits, okay? Now, in the last hour on the Savage Nation, we had a caller who understood my analogy of Tammany Hall and how aptly it applies to the Obama administration. Nick rejoins us now from WOR. Nick, welcome to the program. Nick, you say you worked for a brokerage firm. I'm not going to ask you for the details, just so people know where you're coming from.
I let's put it this way. I was an insider.
All right, you're an
Hello?
insider. You were an insider. So do you agree that the Tammany Hall analogy is apt?
The Tammany Hall allergy exists, and it exists today, because what you have to understand, okay, every city and every state sells municipal bonds, don't they?
Yes.
Now, who runs the state governments in most cases? Is the Democratic Party.
Yes.
The Democratic Party is always tied in with the unions. You know that, too. So
Yes.
what you have is the brokerage firms and the Democratic Party and the unions in bed with each other. And how it works is, oh, God, how do I put it?
Go ahead. Look, Nick, you don't have to divulge any more than you feel is necessary to make your point. I don't want you to get in trouble here. So just tell us the outline.
With the commission, do you want to do hundreds of millions of dollars worth of bond deals? Do you want those finder's fees? Well, you will support us. So what you do in the brokerage business is you support both sides, and you own literally both sides. I'm quite an old man now, but I can go back to President Johnson. He said the wrong thing at a hearing, at a speech.
What
And
did he say?
And he says, well, how did you like the speech to the CEO of this particular corporation?
Yeah.
And he said, you tell the bleep, expletive, AH, that that's not what he was supposed to say, and if he does it again, he'll never get in office again. And, of course, President Johnson did not go for re-election.
Wait, who said that to him?
Own it. They own everything.
No, but you're not making it clear. Who said that? Who was it who made that statement about Johnson? I didn't follow that.
I can't give you his name because then they'll know exactly who I am because I said next
No. So you're saying it's someone in the brokerage business or the banking business?
The bankers and brokers. The Goldman,
Okay.
the Bears, the Lehman.
All right. The Goldman Sachs gang. So let's go now to health insurance reform, Nick. Why did the Obama Tammany Hall machine switch from health reform to health insurance reform approximately 6 weeks ago? Why are they targeting the insurance industry, in your opinion?
In my opinion, they're in bed with them already. Why do you think there's no crossing the state line? Why do you think if you cross the state line to buy insurance, there would be a competitive market? There's no competitive market this way. So everyone takes care of who they want to, and they have a captured audience, which is called.
Yeah.
So,
so you're saying that state insurance commissioners make certain that people don't buy insurance out of state. Is that what you're saying they're in business for?
They won't allow it.
They won't allow it. They won't allow a national insurance company to come along. Is that it?
What they have to do is just open up insurance across the state lines for anything. The competitiveness will automatically drop health costs all the way down. Look at it.
All right, wait, hold on. So then you agree with Nancy Pelosi that we need a health insurance reform bill. Is that true?
No. What we need is deregulation. Deregulation of insurance companies not having locked market, captured audiences in each state.
All right, I follow you. So now I'm following you, but I'm trying to have the audience follow you. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats want health insurance reform, by which they mean a government health insurer. Is that correct?
They're backdooring. They're backdooring to get in government health insurance, and they want government control because of the economy. Once you have the unions, if anybody shoots Santa Claus, you will never get the Democrats out of office. If they're able to attain this health care, the bureaucracy that will be built will be so large that automatically the Democrat Party will. They have the unions. They will own the votes. Who's going to vote them out of office and lose their job because you want to do away with an unconstitutional bureaucracy?
So in other words, we'll have a dictatorship even worse than we already have it.
But what makes you think you don't have it now? Well, what makes you think right now?
Wait, you didn't hear what I said. I said we'll have a dictatorship even worse than we have now.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't believe we have a two-party system at all. How many years have I been in radio? Since 1994. What was the first thing I said the first month? We have a two-party system that fundamentally is a Democrat or Republican party. I never went for the fact that we have real competition in the political arena. I love real competition in the political arena. They talk about real competition in the insurance arena. How about real competition with a third party, Nick?
But there is a third party because I'm writing a book on it. There should be a third party, but not a third party. You're never going to get it, Michael. You gave me the idea, I guess it's about a year ago, when you said, I'm thinking about starting a party. I'm thinking about starting a party. No, Michael, you don't want to start a party. I gave your caller my phone number. What you want is a constitutional party that represents constitutional Democrats and constitutional Republicans that will follow a limited government as according to the Constitution. That way they can keep that damn title of Democrat Republic because they're the same. But if they make an oath or a vow towards with a constitutional Democrats, constitutional Republics, don't run against each other. Join together, and then you could beat them. You will never beat them.
So let's go back to Tammany Hall, the most corrupt government in New York history. Did Tammany Hall get taken down eventually or not?
Excuse me?
Did Tammany Hall get taken down eventually or not?
No, they changed their name. There was a law firm called Tweed. It might have been Fay. I don't remember the last name.
Yeah.
It's going back. I mean,
yeah.
I'm back. But it went from that firm to Shea and Gould.